because what you take away from it is that it's really funny how studios used to work back in like the 50s and 60s is like the engineers literally wore lab coats
Right. Science. Yeah, for sure.
and they were like, this is how you make a violin.
Right.
This is how you
Hmm.
make a vocal.
Yeah.
And this is how you compress it.
Yeah.
And like literally they would get in trouble if they did it
Yeah.
another way.
For sure.
But because the Beatles were the Beatles,
Yeah.
and I think that's why their later records when they had more quote unquote power
Right.
is when they started making things that really sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Is because the Beatles were like, well, we want it to sound like this, and like you guys should figure out how to do that.
Right.
And that's when they were able to like quote
Innovation,
unquote
man.
do things that were wrong. Like they were really starting to push the compressors until they would like give them some distortion. They would mic things in ways that you were quote unquote not supposed to do it. And it was such like a when I read it, I read it like 8 years ago, and I was like, oh, like fuck everything you learned. It's good to have.
It's good to have.
It's good to have, especially when you're like someone wants a classic, violin
Right.
sound, right?
Right.
But the thing that I learned from that is just like, oh yeah, like break the rules, and they're just like kind of trusting their ears, and it was like so
Yeah.
much like John would be like, that sounds great, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, all right, I guess
It's
that's the
technically
sound,
incorrect.
right,
But who gives a fuck?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, like, I could, that reminds me of like Steely Dan
Yeah.
records that are